Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Talking with Dean Winters. Real quick, I just want to say thanks to French Quarters Guest Apartments for being our New York City hotel. Let them be your headquarters in New York City. Go to FrenchQuartersNY.com to book your next day. FrenchQuartersNY.com to book your next day. Usually our callers want to talk about sports. This is a compliment. Ryan, watching on the Audience Network in North Carolina, has something for Dean Winters. Ryan, you're on the air.
What's up, Artie? What's up, Dean?
How you doing, Ryan?
Awesome, man. Big fan of Oz, man.
Thank you.
Just had to say, though, you probably noticed because you were on it, but the first season, if you watch the first episode especially, or the first and second, is, so cliched. It was really stiff. Example, the character of McManus, they had him wearing horrible suit jackets and crappy ties. And by the second season, he's wearing track pants and white beaters and stuff like that.
I thought you were a fan.
Yeah, you're a fan or a critic, man. Seriously.
No. No, it was good, but I'm saying the character arc and the story arc and stuff like that after the first few.
Well, I think look, it takes any good show to find its rhythm, and also you can't forget that this was the first show that people were using foul language and being naked on. So
you got to keep a show on.
You got to keep a show on it, and to find a rhythm for a show that had never been tested before, it took a little while. You know what I mean? But I like to think we got it right. I'm going to argue.
No, definitely.
I mean, that first episode, I'll put that up against anything in the history of television.
Yeah, that was intense. And critics did love it, man.
We were the first show to ever kill the lead character in the first episode. People never seen that before. So, it took a little while. But.
No, Ryan, I appreciate you listening to the show and being a fan.
Yeah.
It's always when some guy says he's a fan and then he's talking about character arcs. I don't even know about character arcs.
Yeah, neither do I.
But thanks, Ryan. I appreciate the phone call. That's a perfect example of Ryan seems like a bright guy, but of the Twitter generation.
Oh yeah.
And they read a lot of reviews. Everybody's an intense critic about everything you do. My God.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't have Twitter or Facebook back then, because we probably would have been murdered. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, again, it sucks when network executives start taking their lead from that.
Yeah.
Because the people will get fired based on
you
suck, this, that, the other.
Well, it's funny. Now when you go into an audition and you meet with producers or studios, and I've literally had studio heads say, "So how many people follow you on Twitter?"
Man.
I'm like,
Really?
Are you freaking kidding me? People follow me down the street.
Right.
I'm not even on Twitter.
No, that's really that's scary.
And they're hiring actors based on their social media.
Could you imagine?
It's painful. It's painful.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
If they start doing that, the movies are going to start to suck.
Well, I think movies are sucking.
Yeah, even worse than they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a great special about the casting director, Marion Dory.
Oh yeah, she gave me my first job.
Did she really?
Yeah,
Did she a documentary about her?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it. But I was a bartender, and she put me in The Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson. And that's the movie that's the job that got me out of bartending.
Oh, cool.
She saved my life, that woman.
Yeah, well, if you watch it, I think it's called Casting By.
Yeah, I want to see
Is
this.
the name of the documentary, and there's a bunch of great actors who say exactly what you said about it. Like Dustin Hoffman says she stick with it. John Voight says she's the reason he's not homeless.
Yeah, yeah, no, she was the reason why I probably didn't die behind a bar.
Well, and at the end of the documentary, they say that the movies are being cast now based on not only the social thing, but the same studios produce sitcoms and the movies.
Yeah.
So they bring people from their sitcoms into a movie. They cast them based on the fact that they could promote the sitcom they're in.
Well,
That's scary as hell.
I've heard some really sick stories that these kids in the Midwest are getting a hold of film scripts before they get sent out, and they're the ones sending their input back into studio heads on who should be in these movies. And so
really? I never heard that. That's amazing.
Oh, I've been hearing about it quite a bit, actually. It's really disturbing.
How do they get a hold of the
Because
script?
there's people in Hollywood they
just sell it. Or
something. You can get your hands on a script, and it's just unnerving because I came up through the ranks. I don't want to give a song and dance, but I was a bartender for 9 years. I cleaned out bathrooms in gay clubs. I sold tickets at theater.
Brutal.
I did the worst jobs in the history of the world. And I did a lot of bad plays downtown, and I worked to get where I am.
Yeah.
I'm not an actor because I have 50,000 douchebags following me on Twitter. You know what I mean? Can I say douchebag or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you said it perfectly.
All right, thank you.
If there's a more perfect way to say douchebag, I challenge someone to find it. Yeah, well, the Twitter thing and the stories. Why not just give Kim Kardashian every lead role for a woman if that's the case?
That's probably going to happen soon.
Yeah. If they want to delve into acting.
Yeah.
I don't know. John just started tweeting. You're having fun. Do you still do that diligently?
No,
for an ex-football player,
I was never quite diligent with it.
But for an ex-football player, you gotta want to punch people in the face constantly. Right?
Well, no, you know what? It does hurt sometimes. Like you see things, and I want to be the tough guy who doesn't let it bother me. But man, if people are critical, it sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that will ever change. I don't get anything positive.
I don't either, man. I'll tell you the truth.
It takes one person to say a negative thing, and that erases 1,000 positive things.
Definitely. As a comic, if there's one guy, one guy in the audience not laughing, that's like a laser beam.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly the same way it was with football.
Yeah, but you see, with sports,
one play goes wrong, that's the one you dwell upon.
Yeah. But with sports, at least, either at the end of the day, you had a great game or a bad game. You won the game or you lost the game. That's why sports is still the only reality TV to me.
And I think there's always a chance for redemption, especially with football, because you have the next play.
Right.
You have the next game. But, a statement, a harsh statement, something that's unfounded that someone says to you on Twitter, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
There's it sticks with you.
I remember the first day on Oz, I had to do this scene where I was nude in the hole, and it was on TV. My mom called me and she cried. She's like, "I can't believe you were naked." She's like, and then a lot of people were stopping me and saying, "Hey, that was really good work last night." And one girl came up to me in Tribeca. She goes, "Hey, you should think about doing more sit-ups."
Oh my God!
And that just freaking crushed me, man.
I'm sure she looked like a young Christy Brinkley.
But it's just like that was the comment that it buried me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you go home and do more sit-ups. That's the worst part if you actually do more sit-ups
because of her. Exactly.
Oh my God, no, that's brutal. No, I agree with you, John. I don't see. That's a funny statement. It's right. I don't see how a positive thing could come out of it.
No,
that much criticism. You know,
it's only the negative. And the thing, there's no personal accountability. It's
I know they can hide behind whatever.
At least the girl who told you to do sit-ups said it to your face.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Twitter,
that's one good
there's
thing.
no personal accountability. You can hide behind the
hide,
screen.
Yeah.
All right, you can hide behind your screen name, Fat Yoda. And no one knows what you're talking about. Back with more Dean Winters after this. Hey, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Last couple minutes of the first hour. Wrap it up with Dean Winters. So, Dean, when is this movie going to come out that you shot with? Did you shoot it already?
No, we started shooting on Friday.
In New York?
Yeah, in New York. It's called John Wick, and it's Keanu and Willem Dafoe and John Leguizamo. A really good cast, and it comes out. I think they're looking at next summer. But it's a badass movie.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's basically Keanu plays a guy who's mourning the death of his wife, and his wife sends him a puppy. Posthumously, knowing that he's not going to deal with her death well. And long story short, some Russian mobsters come to his house and kill his puppy.
Oh my God!
And it's basically it's a revenge film for a puppy, which I don't think has ever been done before. But
that is intense. But I mean, it's a puppy that means quite a bit, obviously.
Yeah, right. But it's a cool movie. The guys that are directing it are these two cats, Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, and Chad was Keanu's stunt double in The Matrix.
Oh, no kidding.
And these guys do and they coordinated movies like The Expendables and all the Matrix films. And these guys are no joke.
They're directing, yeah.
Like they're kickboxers, MMA guys, and now this is their first chance to direct a big movie, and they're really doing a good job. And there is so much carnage in this film, but it's cool. I'm not trying to sell.
How do they kill the puppy?
They blow his head off.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah. No.
What are they? Let me ask you, what's it like having two people direct you? Is that crazy?
Yeah. Well, we just started the other day, so I haven't been in front of the camera yet with these guys, but I had a couple of rehearsals. We did that on Oz. We had a husband and wife team They directed us on Oz a couple of times, and they were super. It was kind of cool. Like it was kind of like a yin and a yang situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one guy is more concentrated on the performance, and one's more concentrated on the way the film looks.
Oh, okay.
So I think it actually kind of cuts the time in half a little.
All
bit.
right, now because you hear
You
that
know what I
about the
mean?
Coen brothers, the way they do it, they're both.
Yeah.
One guy's more of a producer, director. One guy's more of the creator.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean,
so one
that-
guy's more like a cinematographer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, I mean, who's better than the Coen brothers? I mean,
Oh, I know. That's amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing stuff. So you got anything planned coming up? You do plays and stuff
You
like
know
that?
what? I did theater in the beginning of my career, and you know I'm 49 years old right now, and my
You're
memory.
49?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And my memory's garbage. I'm just so I'm so afraid I'm gonna be standing there like on stage and just go, all right, what's my next line? You know? I mean, which is every actor's fear. It's
You
know,
really look like you're 32 years old.
I'm pickled. I think
I tried that. It didn't work out.
no, it's definitely a medium that I want to get back into because I mean when you get down right to it, it's the purest form of acting, and you know it's like whatever you do, whether you're a comedian or a football player, you want to do the purest form of it. So it's something I want to do again. I need to take some more Ginkoba.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing about like a football, with you, John, you're in front of a live crowd doing your thing. That's when it's at its purest. That's what I do like about a stand-up. No matter what other success you get in other mediums, it keeps you honest.
Yeah.
Like tonight, I did stand-up at Caroline's. It's
Yeah.
me and a microphone and the 300 people there. So you're like, it does. It keeps you good or whatever.
To me, I've never done stand-up. I think that seems to be the hardest form of entertainment.
As a good actor, if you get the hardest part would be writing an act for someone like you, and then I think you'd be able to perform it as an actor. You just like act like as if you're doing stand up in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
But the ins and outs, like dealing with the crowd, that's where I think a comic really earns its living on the road.
Yeah.
Because if people interrupt that act, which you're not supposed to do in theater, then you don't get any sympathy if you don't deal with it.
I remember going to Caroline's once and seeing Richard Belzer like 15 years ago.
He's a great crowd work.
He's really good working a crowd, but it was a rough night. It was like the second show. It was like 11 o'clock, and there were some gnarly drunks in the audience. And he spent if the show was an hour, he spent 45 minutes like diffusing these situations.
It can ruin it.
He never even really got into his act.
Yeah, it can ruin it. Well, Dave Chappelle's as great as a comic can be. He was just on YouTube last month. Walked off stage because the people were crazy. And you know what? I don't blame the guy because if these people are too nuts, they're ruining it for everybody else. And it's almost like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with this. And it's up to the manager at that point to just throw those guys out. But you're the type of guy I think would be great in a play. We gotta say goodbye. But you're close. Come by any time.
Hey man, I'm around the corner. I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Okay, look for this new movie and the commercials and anywhere you can see Dean Winters. Follow him on Twitter. Try. Try to be one of the 50,000 douchebags. Dean Winters, back after this.
Thank you very much.
The Artie Lange Show. Weeknights on Audience. Only on DirecTV.